Hey guys, and welcome back to another video, and welcome to our channel if you're new. I hope you are all doing well and staying safe. So today I thought I would touch on a topic that I always get asked, or you know, I feel like I always say this, like this is a subject that I always get asked, but in fitness you have certain key topics and my god, I feel like every time I get asked them I age about 5 years. Let me just pop this down a little bit. Yeah, I feel like I age when people ask this. Now that's fine, I ask the same questions, so I'm here to basically answer them for you because we all ask stupid questions at the end of the day. But I've had so much recently of, oh, I don't feel like I'm working hard enough, or I'm not sweating enough so I'm not working hard. I'm not sore the next day, so I don't think I'm working hard. How can I work hard? If I'm not sweating, I'm not going to be burning enough calories. Or if I'm not sweating, I don't feel like I've done anything. Like, how many people have said this? Because I know in the past I have said, oh, I'm not sweating, I haven't worked hard enough. Like, or, you know, the no pain, no gain, no sweat, no... is the one for sweat? I don't know. But you know what I'm talking about. So today we are going to uncover all of this and tell you exactly how to know if you are working hard enough and how to ensure that your workouts are helping you towards your goal, and whether you definitely are working hard or if you need to up your game a little bit, you know? Some of us do. That's all I'm saying. But if this video is helpful to you, please give it a big thumbs up, click the subscribe button and turn your notifications on. Let's get into it. I know this is like one of those things that is quite hard to tell. Like, how do I know if I'm putting in enough effort at the gym? How do I know if I'm running fast enough? How do I know if I am truly putting in the work that will help me reach those goals? Like, what if I'm just not doing it? Like, how do I know? And that is a question that will take a while for you to realise when you know. But I'm about to basically break it all down for you to give you sort of like a rough guide of how to know if you're like working hard enough to reach your goals, basically. But there's two things I want to clear up to start with. Number one, sweat. Sweat is not an indicator of how hard you have worked. Sweat actually has nothing to do with that. Some of us sweat more, some of us don't. I get clammy hands, doesn't mean I'm working hard. Sweat isn't an indicator of how hard you work. Sweat is an indicator of how humid the place is that you are doing your session. So has your gym got air conditioning? Are you running outside on a hot summer's day? Are you like training in a house? Like, especially during like lockdown, we were all training inside or outside if you had a garden. But like, it was a lot more humid than like, you know, a really nice air-conditioned gym. So humidity has something to do with it, because let me tell you, if you go to the gym now in England, it's probably, well, I mean, it's been raining all weekend. It's going to be air-conditioned in there, but it's cold outside. Like, you're probably not going to sweat straight away. Now, if you head to a gym in LA, probably as soon as you sweat through the doors, as soon as you step through the door, you're going to be sweaty, because it is so humid. When we were in Vegas and went to the gym, oh my god, I was sweating before I even like got in the gym. Like, humidity is a big, like, it's got a lot to do with how much you're going to sweat. But another thing to do with how much you sweat is to do with your hydration levels. If you are hydrated, you are more likely to sweat. If you are dehydrated, you're not going to sweat as much because your body doesn't have the excess water to sweat it out, basically. So yeah, the more water you have in your body, because sweat is mostly water, the more water you have in your body, the more likely you will sweat. If you're dehydrated before your session, you're not going to sweat as much. This is why it is important to ensure that you are hydrated so your body can work efficiently. But the more you sweat doesn't mean that you've burnt more calories or that you've worked harder. It just means, you know, you might be more hydrated than like the previous day or compared to someone else. Also, people sweat differently. Not everyone sweats. Some people don't have to do a lot and they will get very sweaty. Some people can like do, I don't know, like a 30-minute HIIT class and they won't have even broken a sweat. I envy those people. But yeah, some people, they'll have it like dripping down them and they're like, wow, they've worked hard. But then you compare them to the same person, to another person that's done the exact same workout, and they will like barely be sweating. Like, I don't ever drip sweat. I just like feel hot and like clammy and sweaty. People do it differently. So you don't need to work out until you're literally sweating. There is no need. The second one, this is an important one, kind of touched on it previously in my channel, DOMS, so delayed onset muscle soreness. Muscle soreness is not an indicator either of how hard you have worked. Muscle soreness is just tiny micro tears in the muscle to show that you have worked that muscle. It has then been broken, you need to rest and recover to let it heal. If you are dealing with muscle soreness, you might be new to an exercise, you might be completely new to exercising, you might be doing something different, you might have pushed yourself a little bit more. Everybody gets DOMS, but not all the time. So if you are new to exercising, you are going to get them more often, and then eventually they're going to peter out and you're not really going to get them as often. If you've been training for ages, you might not have DOMS until you then introduce a new exercise into your plan, and then you might get them for, you know, a couple of days, and then your body gets used to it again. So just because you're not sore after a workout doesn't mean you haven't worked hard enough. In fact, you don't want to be sore after a workout because you won't be able to train optimally. You will be so sore that you won't be able to do a lot of the exercises correctly. You will more likely to put your body at risk. You're more likely to like it's more likely to affect your form of the exercise because you can't move your body as freely as what you normally do. As well, when you have DOMS, especially if you have DOMS in your legs, it means you're less likely to move around in the day, which means you are lowering your NEAT, which is your non-exercise activity thermogenesis, which is how many calories you burn outside of exercise. So, you know, walking to work instead of driving to work. If you've got DOMS, you're not going to take that option of walking. You're going to drive. You're going to stay sat down on your ass more because it hurts. I've been there. I've been there when you've had to try and lower yourself onto the toilet. It hurts. But that's not good because you then might have to take an extra rest day, whereas you might feel fine, but your legs are not making you feel fine, so you might then not be able to get to the gym. So that's not training optimally because you're making yourself worse. You want to be ensuring that, you know, you might be sore for a few days, but eventually you start to get used to it and then it doesn't happen as much. You don't want to be aiming for soreness every single session because it won't be doing you any favours. Also, if your body is sore, it's your body's way of saying the next day you need to rest and recover. Listen to your body. So let's get into it. This is how to know if you have worked hard enough to help you reach your goals. That's not very catchy, is it? But that's what we're going with. So, okay, so this is how you know if you are working hard enough, if you are working to help reach your goals. So number one is progressive overloading. So say for example, you're on the leg press and you've got, I don't know, 60 kg on the leg press, and you've been set 4 sets of 12. If on your last set, so set number 4, and you're coming up to the 12th rep and you finish it and you're fine and you move on, that's probably an indication that next time you need to up the intensity. So you either need to increase the weight or you need to go for more reps, or you change up the tempo. The most common one is going to be add more weight or increase more reps. But if you want to start to build muscle, you're going to want to stay in like a certain rep range, which is normally 8 to 12. So you don't really want to be building too much onto that. So that's when you then want to increase the weight. Now, to know that you are pushing yourself hard enough and you are like, oh my God, I couldn't possibly have done any more, you want to be working till failure. So on your 4th set, you should be struggling. So if you're on the leg press and you're getting to 12, your legs should have slowed right down, and you're struggling, but you're pushing it out. Like, you are struggling, but you are getting it done. That is progressive overload, because you are pushing yourself. You are working till failure, and you want to get there until that then becomes comfortable, that then you can increase the weight. That's knowing that you are progressively overloading. You're working until failure. You are pushing your muscles to their limits when you are weight training. That is one indication to know that you are working towards your goals, that you are working hard enough, because that will be uncomfortable. And a lot of people aren't comfortable with being uncomfortable, which is why things like weight training and stuff like that is not for everyone. Just a little side note. If you are a cardio lover, not me, you want to be working around 75% of your maximum heart rate for around 20 minutes. That's how you know that you've put in a good shift. You have worked hard. Like, what you've done is going to make a difference, basically. So obviously, to take your maximum heart rate, you need to like test your heart rate. So you can either do it here, heart rate monitor to see what it is, and then obviously, you know, to know your maximum heart rate, it's 220 minus your age. So see if you are working with around 75% of your maximum heart rate, to see if you have, yeah, pushed yourself hard enough, basically, on the treadmill. Another way, when you're weight training, resistance training, to sort of know if you are working hard enough or pushing yourself hard enough, is RPE, so rate of perceived exertion. So this is a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being you're sat on the sofa, 10 being, I don't know, something extreme like you need to go to hospital. Like, you literally cannot continue, like you just can't. Yeah, so with resistance training, you probably want to be around an 8 or a 9 after you've done that exercise. So if you're not feeling, if you feel like, yeah, I could have done more sets, like you haven't pushed yourself hard enough, you haven't lifted heavy enough weights, or you know, you haven't done enough reps, you need to go. That's the same sort of thing as going to a failure. You want about probably 1 to 2 reps left in the tank, but you should be going so that you are struggling. Now, no one else is going to know your rate of perceived exertion, or RPE. Only you will. I mean, if I was training you, I could probably see it, like how you were reacting. I could see that you're probably struggling, your facial expressions are probably going to show it, but realistically, you're the only one that's going to know how much you've got left to give, basically. So for example, with bicep curls, when you're doing it, you know, you want to keep going until you are struggling to get some reps out, and you've probably got 1 or 2 left, but they probably wouldn't be great, like you would be struggling. That is working, you know, until failure. You're gonna start to get that sort of like muscle soreness, like muscle pump, which is going to make you look a little bit more swelled. Swollen, your muscles will swell. That's what you sort of want to aim for when it comes to weightlifting. That's obviously, so the sort of weightlifting, the one we've just spoken about, is roughly around like hypertrophy, so building muscle. Now, if you are going for strength, this is going to be a lot less reps, so you know, 1 to 5 reps maybe. Your RPE scale should be around 9 to 10. Like, when you are going for your 1 rep maxes, you should be like, you can't get any more out. You have got nothing left in the tank. You have hit failure. Like, I will pop in a clip. So a couple of weeks ago I did 92.5 kg squat, and I got it for 1, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna put 95 on, let's try that. Now this is me hitting failure. You can see I go down, absolutely fine. I come up, and I just haven't got it left in the tank. I've got nothing left to give to get that last bit up. Now that's when you know that you have pushed yourself, like you have pushed yourself as much as you can. Your body has got physically nothing left to get out of that rep, like it cannot do it. That's when you know that, you know, you've pushed yourself hard enough. Something else I want to touch on is not every session is going to be insane. Not every session is going to be amazing. Not every session you're going to feel strong. Not every session you're going to want to be in that gym. Some days you're going to want to not be there. You're going to want to just walk out. But one piece of advice that I have definitely found is it's difficult. But no, one piece of advice that I have definitely found is that you push yourself through those sessions and you will feel better for it. I've never left a gym session thinking, why did I do that? I have wasted my time. I wish I hadn't done it. It was all a waste of time. I'd rather have been at home. I mean, I probably have said I'd rather have been at home, but I've never felt bad after I finished it. The sessions that you put in when you don't want to be there, they're the ones that count. They're the ones that show your determination. They show your hard work. They show how driven you are towards your goal. And they're the ones that will stay with you. You're more likely to remember a shittier session than a good session. So yeah, just stick with it. Don't be too harsh on yourself. Not every day is going to be great. You know, some days you like, I don't know like how you guys train, but like, so I will work with similar exercises. Now with like a squat, someday I'll be like, oh okay, this is for example, when I squatted 97.5 the other day, I was like, oh my god, I definitely could have gone for more. I didn't, because I was working 1 rep maxes and my legs were very tired. But I think I could have tried, but I didn't. But then the following week when I came to do squats, I was struggling to do 60 kg. Like, I was tired. I was doing more reps, obviously, but like, it felt so heavy. But I'm not going to beat myself up on it just because one week I can lift heavy and then the other week it feels weaker. You know, our bodies aren't going to be the same every time. We have like hormone changes, you know, season changes, like weather, how well you've slept, what you've eaten, loads of different things change it. So just don't be harsh on yourself. Put in the grind, put in the effort, work hard if you want those goals, be determined, be driven. Don't let anyone stop you, don't let yourself stop you, and just keep going, basically. And you will get there, and you'll thank yourself for it, I promise. Like, you will be more pissed off with yourself if you get up out of the gym session and walk off. Like, I get it, sometimes you have to. Sometimes it's not for you. But you know deep down when that is the right time and when isn't the right time. Don't be a dick to yourself. Keep at it. Also, if you are into like HIIT sort of training, you're going to be wanting to push yourself hard. You are working for short intervals. You should be hitting 10 on the RPE scale. You should be like, you know, out of breath. You should be struggling. You might not be sweating because your body might not sweat as much as someone else, or you know, you might not be quite as hydrated as previous, but you want to be going till about 10. You want to be struggling. Like, HIIT workouts are normally shorter workouts, so you do want to be pushing yourself to the absolute maximum during that short period of time. I hope this video has helped you. I hope it's sort of given you a bit of an understanding, so you can now sort of take a look at your own training, evaluate, am I pushing myself hard enough? Am I working hard enough to reach my goals? If not, take some of the tips. Check where you are on the RPE scale. Are you working hard enough? Are you pushing yourself? Are you working till failure? Are you struggling? Are you working at 75% of your maximum heart rate? Make sure you are doing this if you want to hit your goals. And also, it's going to help you hit your goals efficiently. I mean, yeah, you might get there eventually, but otherwise it might take you a long time if you are sort of like dawdling around with it. But yeah, my main tips are hard work, consistency, be driven towards your goals. If you want it that badly, I promise you, you'll do anything to get there. That's definitely something I've learned. But yeah, I think that's enough from me. I think that's enough rambling. I only wanted to keep it short. So if this video has helped you, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Click the subscribe button and turn your notifications on. All of your support means the absolute world to me. And I will see you for another video soon. See you later.